be sharing with you in this video 3 ways to trust in the unknown to create your dreams and goals. And so the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to actually do this is to have an understanding that the unknown is where the magic happens. Only in the unknown is where you're going to find transformation, is where you're going to find growth, is where you're going to find that you'll become that person that you want to be. Of course, you have to have intention. You have to have direction. You have to know where you're going. You have to know what your purpose is moment to moment. But as well, with that being said, you also have to know how to completely surrender into the unknown. And I believe that this is where a lot of people go wrong, because they think that they're gonna find transformation in this space of just knowing everything. Like they know where everything is and they know how everything works and everything works out perfectly to plan. It's like you're gonna have to take a risk. You're gonna have to step into the unknown. This is something that, again, a lot of people are not willing to accept. And so the second thing that I wanna share with you in this video is to have an understanding that no growth can happen in the known. So when you're in the known, when you know everything, you can't actually grow in that space, because if you're doing everything the same way based on knowing everything, what begins to happen is that you just get the same results. You get the same results, nothing changes. You recreate yourself to be the same person every single day. Now you're still creating yourself, but you're just becoming the same person. So what we have to do is bring consciousness and awareness to this process. This is not necessarily about reshaping your intentions or changing your life purpose or changing the direction that you're going in your life again. What this is more about is about changing the place that you are coming from while you're doing what you're doing. And this is what's going to help us to get to that next level. This is what's going to help us to finally become the person that we want to be. When we realize that unless you become a little bit uncomfortable, unless you become a little bit, unless you step just a little bit into your, outside of your comfort zone, into that discomfort zone, I'm not saying you have to go into your danger zone, but if you step into your uncomfortable zone where you're just I don't really know, if I 100% know everything here, and you feel a little bit worried, it's you feel a lot of fear coming up and you feel a lot of anxiety come up. It's here's what you have to remember is that all of that is normal when you're creating what you want. All of it is normal. It's completely normal. It's you're going to feel weird. You're going to feel like you're doing things that you've never done before. You're going to feel a little bit awkward at first. But what you have to do is just be willing to continue on anyway, and just be there and just show up. This is what's going to help us get the results that I believe oftentimes we're looking for. And so lastly, the final thing that I want to share with you in this video is just to understand that at the end of the day, there's really no reason to be worried about the unknown, because at the end of the day, again, everything is unknown. Nothing is ever known. Even in your comfort zone where you think that everything is known, and you're not willing to step into that uncomfortability of just being present to the moment, of just being here now, not knowing everything, you have to understand that that's still unknown. There's no 100% guarantees in that space. So when you're playing it safe and you're doing what you believe is keeping you safe and comfortable, and you think that everything is known there, that is also unknown. That also has risk and an element of no guarantees whatsoever. So if nothing is guaranteed whatsoever, whether you follow your life purpose, what you believe to be your purpose, or whether you play it safe, if both of those are ultimately risks, and when we can begin to become conscious of this, why not just go towards what your heart wants? Why not just create what you really want? Why keep spinning in circles, creating something that you don't want, if you know what you want, and all you have to do is just be willing to commit. Now, here's the thing, is that you might not be ready. A lot of people aren't ready to take the next step in their life. But I'm asking not about readiness, but more about willingness. When you can be willing to take action, even if you don't want to, even if you're scared, even if you're worried, simply because you see that it's normal, then I believe you step into the unknown, and that is where the real growth, the real magic, and the real transformation. And so lastly, the final thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of the third way to trust in the unknown to create your dreams and goals is to understand that at the end of the day, everything is unknown. Nothing is known. So no matter what path you take, no matter which direction you go in, there's never going to be like a 100% secure path. Everything's at risk. Nothing is 100% guaranteed. No matter where you go, you're going to find yourself in some type of situation where like you don't 100% know if that's the path to take. So if that's the case, why not go towards what your heart really wants? Why not go towards what you really want to create? Because we're often put with so much conditioning. There's so many outside forces telling us that we have to go in this direction, or there's one particular correct direction. There's no right or wrong direction. As long as you're showing up with respect, as long as you're showing up with honor, you can make any choice that works for you. There's no obligation for you to do something that you don't feel like you want to do. If you feel like you have to do it, well, let me break it to you right now. There's no have tos. This whole idea of have to is a self-created belief that really what this channel is about is completely shattering that belief completely. There's no more have tos. I understand that sometimes survival brings it to be the case where you do have to do something. Okay, so then if you believe you have to do something, then do it. But then as soon as you're done doing what you have to do, you should immediately create room for what you want to do. Do what you have to do only long enough until you can do what you want to do. The reason you're doing what you have to do is so that you can do what you want to do. So if that is the case, why not 100% commit again to your heart's desire? There's no reason to be in this quote unquote secure space that doesn't actually exist. This space of security where like you feel like because you're comfortable and like doing the same thing over and over, like you're secure. That's not true, because again, there's a lot of risk associated with repeating the same mistakes over and over and over, or doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's good to be disciplined. It's good to be consistent with whatever you're doing. It's good to have consistent daily habits, but every time that you do something, you should not be focused on just what you're doing and repeating the same thing over and over robotically. If you have a daily habit, yes, it's good sometimes to do things consistently, do the same thing over and over in one sense. But from another sense, what you have to do is bring that essence into it. Make sure that you're focusing on how you're doing what you're doing. It's not just the action that you're taking, it's also the place that you're coming from. And so oftentimes what people forget is that any plan is good. Any plan will oftentimes help you to get to success. There's no perfect plan. What's going to make the plan perfect is your commitment and your willingness to commit, again, even if you don't feel ready. And when you can understand that feeling ready is never a prerequisite, it's not needed for success, that's when you'll just do things simply because you're willing, which is going to help you to get to the next level of your success.